Hey y'all, it's Julie the Nursing Tutor. I have 7 problems that I would like to work for y'all. And if you're not going to watch to the end, I ask you to please watch all the way through the 3rd problem. There's some tricky ones on here, and I want every person to see that one, okay? So here we go. Ampicillin, 500 milligrams and 250 milliliters of D5W to infuse over 40 minutes. The drop factor is 20. What rate are you going to put it? So you remember that the formula for the drop factor is total volume times the drop factor divided by the time in minutes. So here we go, gathering our information. What's the total volume? 250 milliliters. The 500 is a distractor, so don't let it distract you. Times the drop factor, which is 20, divided by 40 minutes. And then, my dog, we're going to do all the math on the top and divide it by the number on the bottom. Good Lord, he's loud. 250 times 20 equals, he's a golden retriever, divided by 40 equals. That should go at 125 drops per minute. Okay, look. You know what we just did right here in front of everybody. We saved them. All right, let's do the next one. Administer 1 unit of packed red blood cells, which is 250 milliliters over 4 hours. The drop factor is 15 drops per milliliter. What rate will you administer it? So our total volume is 250 milliliters times the drop factor, which is 15. I hope you hear me in your head on that test. Times the time, 4 hours, but it's got to be in minutes. So we're not trusting our brain. We're going to do the calculator. 60 times 4 equals 240 minutes. And then we're doing all the math on top, divided by that. So come on, do it with me. We could do it together. 250 times 15 equals, divided by 240, and that will equal 15.625. And if I had to write this, if this was a written test, I'd write it out for Ethel so she knows I know, and I'm finna show her I know how to round, because that 6 is going to make that 5 a 6, because you got to round it to a whole number, because you can't give 0.625 of a drop. So tell her, look at here, go. We saved them. Okay, all right, look at here. The order is for dextrose, D5 normal saline, 1 liter, with potassium chloride 20 milliequivalents to infuse over 48 hours. The drop factor is 15 drops per minute. What rate will you set the Alaris pump? This is a tricky question, because when it says what are you going to set the pump, they are wanting your answer in milliliters per hour. Okay, you hear me? So look, the 15 drop factor is a distractor, because your job is to answer the question that they're asking you. Even on other tests besides dosage calc, they may tell you all kind of stuff up there, but you're answering the question they're asking you. So we're doing milliliters per hour. So what's that? It is the total volume divided by the time in hours. So what's our total volume? 1 liter. 1 liter. Now people gonna ask me why I am, maybe you won't, I don't know. So I'm gonna convert it to milliliters. This is the same as grams to milligrams. This tells me I'm going to move the decimal that way, and it's always 3 times. So 1 liter, the decimal's understood to be right here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. It's 1,000 milliliters. Why am I doing that? Because my answer has to be in milliliters per hour. So 1,000 milliliters divided by the time in hours. We got 48 of them. Good night. What is it he been doing? Okay. And then we're just going to divide it out. See what it says. Here we go. 1,000, count your zeros, divided by 48 equals 20.8 milliliters an hour. Now, because there was no direction to round it, keep it at the tenths place, because a pump on the floor is usually in whole numbers, I'm rounding it up. But I'll put, surely Ethel, they should tell you, they should specify how they want you to round that. But I'm telling you, most places want you to put a whole number. In specialty units like ICU, you can put a point. But if you're not in the last level of nursing school, I'd round it. And I'm going to shut up now. So, you see what I'm saying? You're answering the question. If it says a pump, I don't care what else they're putting. They want it in milliliters per hour. And since you stayed this long, you may as well hang out. Vancomycin, 1 gram, and 250 milliliters of D5 to infuse over 2 hours. What will you set the rate of the pump? So, you remember total volume divided by the hour. So, our total volume is 250 milliliters. And the total time is 2 hours. So, this fraction says that divided by that. And that's how you're going to key it in. 250 divided by 2 equals. It's got to run at 125 milliliters per hour. Look at there. Boom. You know it. Okay. We should get superhero shirts or something. Zosyn, 2.25 grams in 50 milliliters normal saline to infuse over 30 minutes. What rate will you set the Alaris pump? Okay. Boy, they being trickified. So, you remember total volume divided by the time in hours. It has to be hours. You ain't got no other choice. And in previous videos, if you've watched them, you know that I'll do the total volume, 50 milliliters, and I'll put divided by 30 minutes, but I'm going to come up here and tell the problem that we're dealing with a 60-minute hour, or else they're going to think 30 minutes is a full hour. I hope you get that. If not, just trust me. If it's less than 30, if it's less than 60 minutes, just put 60 up there and move on with life, okay? So we're doing all the math on the top and then dividing it by 30. Times 60 equals, divided by 30 equals. And it should run at 100 milliliters per hour, which makes sense. If you wanted to drive 50 miles an hour, you drive 50 miles an hour. But if you wanted to go 50 miles in 30 minutes, you'd need to drive 100. Yeah. Look, we saved them. Here's another one. So, naproxen, 0.376 grams, and available is 250 milligram tablets. So, we got to convert. And you remember, kilogram, gram, milligram, microgram. I would write that across my page if it was a source of fret, so that I would know if I'm going from grams to milligrams, I got to move that sucker to the right. You got to understand it's 3 places. 1, 2, 3. And then the decimal will go there. So it ends up being What he wants is 375 milligrams. What we got is 250 milligrams per one tablet. And then, like a champ, like a valedictorian, I don't know, we're going to go this divided by that. 375 divided by 250 equals. And then if there would have been something else besides a 1, we'd have multiplied it. But we're going to give them 1.5 tablets. Look here. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Remember, to go in this fraction, they got to have the same last name. So if the dose order and what you got on hand don't have the same last name, changes must be made. So the physician orders 250 milligrams of antibiotic suspension. The label on the suspension reads 500 milligrams per 5 mLs. How much would the nurse give? So this is a dose order over dose on hand times how it comes. What is ordered is 250 milligrams. What I've got in my hand is 500 milligrams. And it comes in 5 milliliters. I've set my problem up. There's my work, Ethel. And then I'm going to go this divided by that times that. Come on, let's do it together. It'll be fun. 250 divided by 500 equals times 5 equals. We're going to have to give them 2.5 milliliters of whatchamacallit. Sure. Yeah, and that's it. Yay. I hope y'all found it as enjoyable as I did. Y'all have a good evening.